Kings Island is home to some of the best roller coasters in the entire world. Opening in 1972, Kings Island has been pleasing thrill seekers and the general public for over 50 years. But there's one that really stuck out to me during my visit. Enter Diamondback, a B&M hypercoaster that opened in 2009, stands at 230 feet tall, reaches the top speed of 80 miles per hour, and features a layout of 5,282 feet of track, which is just about 40 feet shorter than the layout for Orion. Today I'm going to be reviewing this phenomenal coaster, so stay tuned as I'm going to be reviewing this ride as well as telling you everything you need to know about this iconic and amazing coaster. Let's start with the drop. Diamondback features a 215 foot drop with a drop angle of 74 degrees off a 230 foot tall lift hill. These stats definitely aren't as impressive as Orion, but when you're actually on the ride, it doesn't feel that much different. Orion is just a little bit taller and steeper. Diamondback, however, still has an amazing first drop. After that, you go into the two best airtime moments of the entire ride. I'm serious, these two airtime moments are so sustained. I had a short conversation with my sister, all while being out of my seat the entire time. Now, if you can't tell, this coaster, along with most other B&M hypers, is centered towards floater airtime, and this coaster is a master at it. I mean, if you are a fan of floater airtime like myself, this is the holy grail with an estimated 27 seconds of it, according to this Reddit photo. Anyways, back to the layout. After the two massive airtime hills, you fly up into a hammerhead turn, which is actually a really fun element. You then go into yet another airtime hill, but unfortunately, this one has trim brakes. It's not too bad though, because personally I didn't feel like they did too much. Then you go into an upward helix, into the mid-course brake run.
Oh brother, this guy stinks!
You then drop and go into two tamer hills, which I didn't find as thrilling as the first few, but are still very fun. You then take another upward helix to the right and into the splashdown, which is debatably the coolest coaster finale I have ever experienced. That concludes your ride on the Superior coaster at Kings Island. Diamondback is such a fun ride that is very re-rideable. It has amazing airtime and a decent first drop. The B&M clamshell restraints also help this coaster out a ton, as they don't restrict you from getting airtime one bit. Fun fact, my sister says Diamondback and Orion are boring. Keep in mind this is coming from someone who has Flight of Fear as their number one in the entire park. Compared to Orion, I honestly feel like Orion lacks in a lot of things, like airtime, good elements, and honestly it's kind of just a plain ride. I'm not saying it's boring, but at the same time, I'm saying it's boring. But I'm not saying it's boring, it's just tame. Other than the drop, there aren't really any standout moments like on Diamondback. But that's enough talking about Orion. This isn't an Orion video. One of the things that stand out to me on Diamondback is the seating. If you didn't know, Diamondback is one of the few coasters that has a seating called staggered seating. Here's a photo of it because it's a lot easier to show a picture than to actually describe it. What this does is it actually helps give everyone on the train a good view of what's coming ahead in front of you. It also makes the experience feel more free by having more room to yourself. The only downside of this is that if you have a group of 3 or more people, you can't all sit next to each other. Another thing is that Diamondback is one of the less common hypercoasters that features a twister layout. What I mean by this is that it doesn't have a traditional out and back coaster layout, like for example something like Magnum XL 200 at Cedar Point. This adds some uniqueness to the ride, but it also takes away some moments of airtime, which I think is a fair trade. I just think Diamondback is such an amazing and fun ride. It's currently my 5th favorite roller coaster out of 29, which I know isn't a lot, but I'm comparing it to beasts like Steel Vengeance, Maverick, and Top Thrill 2. But I just feel like there isn't a single dull moment on this ride. It's back to back to back airtime and has some other cool moments. I admit, however, that the first half is a lot stronger than the second half. And yes, I think Diamondback is better than Orion. And I'm not saying that to hate on Orion, It's my number 2 in the park, just barely beating Mystic Timbers. I definitely recommend trying this coaster out if you never have before if you visit Kings Island, as it is a phenomenal coaster. If you enjoyed this video or just watched this far, please consider subscribing as it helps me out a ton. Peace out and God bless.